You've changed everything. You're tired, and it's not just from work or life. You're tired in a way that even sleep doesn't fix. Your chest feels heavy, your body drags. Some days you wake up and it feels like you're walking through something thick and invisible, like you're being slowed down by something you can't name. And lately, you're not acting like yourself. You're snapping at your parents, being cold to your spouse, ignoring messages from friends who've done nothing wrong. Your mood turns dark fast, and you don't even know why. It's like your mind is constantly on edge, looking for someone to blame, something to escape. You've been praying, you've been making dua, but deep down, you're starting to notice something that scares you. That this exhaustion doesn't feel natural, that these fights don't feel like you, that these breakdowns always seem to happen at the worst, most crucial moments, right when something good was finally coming together. And the worst part is, you can't explain it. You try to sound normal, but your voice is flat. You try to focus in prayer, but your mind won't stop racing. You try to enjoy the good things, but they slip away before they even begin. That's when the thought creeps in. Maybe this isn't random. Maybe this is placed. Maybe it's not just hardship. Maybe if it's witchcraft. Sign 1. It doesn't feel like depression. It feels like an invasion. And the thing is, you've had low moments before. You've felt burnout, grief, even real depression. But this doesn't follow the same rules. This one came out of nowhere. No big trigger, no warning, just heaviness, disconnection, like something snuck in and dimmed the light inside you. Without asking, you keep trying to label it. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe you need more sleep. Maybe it's just your hormones, your routine, your diet. So you try everything. A better planner, a new gym, more Quran, less screen time, but the weight doesn't move. Not the one on your chest, not the one in your heart. You feel invaded, but there's no enemy in sight. And when you talk about it, if you even do, people tell you to stop being so negative. Just have sabr, just think good of Allah. As if you're not already trying. But deep down, you know something's off. You know the difference between sadness and sabotage. It's when your soul feels like it's being jammed. You try to focus in salah, and your brain starts screaming nonsense. You try to open the Quran, and your eyes glaze over after 2 ayahs. You try to make dua, and your tongue suddenly goes dry. You don't even feel like yourself anymore. And here's the part nobody tells you. When Allah is testing you, it pulls you closer. But when Sihr is attacking you, it pushes you away. From him, from people, from your own roof. Because Sihr doesn't come with red flags. It comes with slow decay. A mind that can't concentrate, a heart that feels numb, a soul that starts malfunctioning, and you keep trying to fix it. But you're treating the wrong wound, because this isn't just psychological, it's spiritual warfare, and it's happening inside you. And the longer you pretend it's not real, the deeper it nests. Sign 2. Your mind becomes your enemy, out of nowhere. You're sitting in the car, or on your bed, or halfway through wudu, and suddenly, a thought crashes in. Violent, ugly, completely out of character. You don't even know where it came from, but it hits so hard, it makes you freeze. Why did I just think that? What's wrong with me? And it doesn't stop there. You start over-analyzing every word someone said. You replay old fights that ended years ago. You begin assuming the worst about people who love you. And you don't even realize when it starts. It just becomes your new default. Anger, suspicion, tension. This is the kind of mental sabotage that doesn't just disturb your peace, it rewrites your personality. And that's when it gets scary, because now you're not just exhausted, you're scared of your own head. You know you weren't like this before. You used to be calm, you used to be forgiving, you used to think clearly, But lately, your mind's been turning on you, pushing you into fights, planting seeds of resentment, telling you to isolate yourself, making you feel like a burden to everyone around you. And at some point, you stop fighting the thought. You just let it in, because maybe they really are against you. Maybe Allah is angry with you. Maybe you're not meant to have peace. That's how Sihr plays you. It doesn't just whisper false thoughts. It wraps them in your own voice, until you can't tell the difference anymore. Was that me? Or was that something else? Even the Prophet ﷺ told us that shaitan runs in the bloodstream. And when a person is vulnerable, he feeds on that vulnerability. Now imagine someone sending something with intention, a curse, an envy, a binding spell that latches onto your energy and pushes it out of alignment, slowly, daily, invisibly. And the more you let it go unchecked, the more it builds roots. You'll start doubting everyone. You'll start self-sabotaging. You'll hear Quran and feel irritated. You'll be offered advice and immediately reject it. And one day, you'll catch yourself mid-thought, saying something hateful in your head about your own parent, your own spouse, your own self. And in that moment, a terrifying question lands like thunder. What if this isn't even me anymore? Sign 3. Your sleep becomes a battleground. You lie down at night hoping it'll all reset by morning. But instead of peace, your nights feel like they're punishing you. You sleep for 8 hours and wake up more tired. You keep having nightmares that don't make sense. Twisted faces, shadows watching you, old arguments replaying in strange places. And if it's not nightmares, it's pressure on your chest. Sudden jolts awake, sleep paralysis that feels like you're being pinned down by something invisible. You don't tell anyone. You just say, "I didn't sleep well." But it's not just poor sleep hygiene. It's spiritual exhaustion. It's your ruh fighting something you don't have a name for yet. And the worst part? You start to feel scared of your own bed. You put on ruqya audio and your body feels hot, twitchy, tense. You say Ayatul Kursi and your brain starts racing faster, as if something inside doesn't want to hear it. There's a reason dreams matter in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ taught that some dreams come from Allah, others from shaitan. But sometimes, especially when sihr is involved, the dreams aren't just random images. They're attacks. And if you're spiritually vulnerable, those attacks come nightly. You don't need a sorcerer to show up at your door. He already left something at the threshold of your mind, and now it's using your sleep to drain you before the day even starts. The signs pile up. You wake up angry for no reason. You feel like crying but can't explain why. You get out of bed and already feel defeated, like you lost a battle you didn't know you were in. And slowly, night becomes a place of fear instead of rest. Because the one place you thought you could escape your thoughts, your pain, your confusion, has now become a battlefield too. Sign 4. You notice the same pattern, repeating in everything. Have you ever looked back at your life and realized you've been living the same downfall over and over, just in different clothes, different relationship, same betrayal, different job, same rejection, different opportunity, same collapse, right at the edge of success? And the wild part, you knew it was coming. You could almost feel it before it happened. That strange silence before the phone call doesn't come. That awkward shift in someone's eyes before they pull away. That gut feeling that said, "This is too good to last," and it didn't. People will tell you it's just bad luck. Maybe you're sabotaging yourself. Maybe it's your mindset, but you know your mindset has changed. You've been more grateful, more focused, more connected to Allah. And yet somehow, no matter how much you adjust, it all loops back to the same outcome. Delay, loss, confusion. This is where sihr hides best. Not in explosions, but in repetition, in patterns that feel too cruel to be random. That's why the Prophet ﷺ called it one of the mubiqat, the destructive sins that eat a person alive. Because sihr isn't just about black magic circles or dramatic reactions during ruqya. It can show up as a quiet sabotage of your qadar's momentum, as a spell to divide you from someone, to freeze your risk, to cloud your heart with waswas until even your dua feels hopeless. And sometimes it's not even about what happens. It's about what never does, the job that never opens, the proposal that always gets delayed, the healing that almost happens, then disappears. So you start to wonder, how many times can life fall apart the exact same way before I admit something unnatural is happening? How long do I wait before I stop blaming my effort and start looking at what might be blocking it? And maybe you're not crazy. Maybe someone did want to delay your light. Maybe someone saw your healing coming and tried to break it before it arrived. Sign 5. The people closest to you suddenly turn cold, and you don't know why. At first, you thought you were imagining it, the way your spouse started pulling away, the way your closest friend stopped replying with warmth, the way your sibling, the one you used to laugh with like clockwork, suddenly started looking at you like a stranger. It's not dramatic. No fights, no betrayal, just distance. A slow, chilling silence that stretches until one day you realize we're not okay anymore. And the most confusing part, you didn't do anything wrong. You scroll through old messages, reanalyze every word. You replay the last conversation in your head like a detective, but nothing explains why the energy changed. Why you're now walking on eggshells in your own home. Why people who used to love you now avoid you, ignore you, or turn against you. That's the kind of wound sihr leaves behind. Quiet separation, emotional sabotage, especially when it's the kind of sihr Rasulullah ﷺ warned us about. Sihr al-Tafriq, the one designed to split people apart. In an authentic hadith, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, some spells can cause separation between a man and his wife. And it's not just spouses, it happens between siblings, friends, parents, and children. Suddenly, things that were never an issue before become full-blown arguments. You start feeling judged, unwanted, unsafe, even in your safest spaces. You start thinking, maybe I am the problem, even though your heart tells you something deeper is going on. And that's the cruelty of Sihr. It doesn't just block your path. It isolates you from the people who might have helped you through it. It severs the rope just before you could be pulled out. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's a curse spoken in envy. Sometimes it's just the work of a heart full of hate, sent your way. And unless it's caught, it grows. You stop trusting people. You stop asking for help. You stop talking. And one day, without realizing it, you become spiritually injured and completely alone. But you're not crazy. You're not imagining it. This kind of distance, this kind of silence, it often has a source. And if you feel like everyone is pulling away, like warmth has vanished from your closest relationships, it might not be that you've changed. It might be that something is trying to change how the world sees you. So if all of this sounds too familiar, you're not paranoid, and you're not broken either. You're in a battle you didn't start, but one you can win. Because here's the truth most people forget when they talk about sihr. It might be real, but it's not stronger than Allah. Not even close. And maybe that's the reason you're here right now. Not to obsess over who cursed you, not to waste your nights blaming people, but to finally start fighting back. Not emotionally, not socially, spiritually. Because when the Prophet ﷺ was attacked by sihr, and he was, Allah revealed the exact blueprint for protection, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah An-Nas. 2 short surahs sent down not just to expose the sihr that struck him, but to protect you from everything being aimed at your soul. Recite them every morning, every night, every time your chest feels heavy. And don't just read them, mean them. When you say, "From the evil of the envier when he envies," know that Allah is hearing it and answering it, and don't stop at just reciting. Start cleaning your space, your habits, your company. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that even the adhan, just calling the prayer, sends shaitan running. So what would happen if you filled your home with prayer and Quran and ruqya and started cutting off the sins that let those doors stay open? Because sometimes sihr only finds a way in because we left the gate unlocked. That's not your fault. But now it's your responsibility, and it's not about becoming a perfect Muslim overnight. It's about becoming a protected one. So if you've been feeling blocked, heavy, sabotaged, disconnected, don't give up. You're not weak, you're under attack. And attacks can be repelled, but only when you start taking your protection as seriously as your pain. Because witchcraft might be hidden, but it's never stronger than the one who already wrote your escape. And Allah never said you have to figure it all out alone. He just said, "Call upon me, and I will respond." Oh, call, even with a whisper, even with a broken voice, even with just one line. Ya Allah, protect me from what I can't see. Drop that dua in the comments. It might be the exact shield someone else needed today. And if you felt this, even a little, hit like so it reaches someone who's silently suffering too. And subscribe if you want to keep walking this path with us. One layer of healing at a time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.